Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Zachlesage, and we are back here on the Rare Candy TCG YouTube channel. We are going to be going over this brand new deck, or I guess kind of brand new deck, as I've heard about it before, but I've not necessarily seen it played. This deck just made top 4 at the Q1 Limitless event, piloted by Ross Cawthon, one of the absolute best players of all time in this game. If you are missing any of the cards for this deck, which kind of varies from a lot of sets, I know when I was building this deck, I was missing Jinx, but you could always go to PTCGO plug in the code RARECANDY, and pick up some codes as you need them. If you are a patron by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/RareCandyTCG, we do have a special code that allows you to save 7.5%, so you could use that or consider joining and becoming a patron. So we all know what ADP does by now, especially if we've been playing this format for a while. Altered Creation GX allows us to draw extra prize cards and do extra damage. Ross paired it with Spiritomb so that you could use Building Spite, Rainbow Energy, and Jinx to move damage counters to Spiritomb to be attacking for more. Anguish Cry can be doing a lot of damage, so with 1 damage counter, it's doing 40 damage, 2 damage counters, it's doing 70, ADP factors an extra 30, but when you factor it in with all the cards like Jinx to use Ominous Posture to move damage counters to it, Rainbow Energy to add more damage counters to it, Building Spite, and Hustle Belt, you could do a lot more damage because Hustle Belt adds an additional 60. So with ADP, that's 90 more damage with 5 damage counters on a Spiritomb, which is really easy to achieve with 3 Jinx, 4 Spiritombs, bunch of Rainbows. You can do 250 damage. With a lot of the Pokemon being in that range, being Tag Team GX Pokemon, Shrine of Punishment damage, ticks will usually allow you to draw extra prize cards. With this Pokemon being worth 1 prize card and only requiring 1 energy, Anguish Cry seems like it's going to be an absolutely busted attack. So let's find out how exactly this deck works by playing a few games on it. We're going to see in the deck. You can take a screenshot if you like, and we'll jump into some games on PTCGO. Okay, so let's see exactly what we get here. And we won the flip. Yo, hello. We'd like to go first. Yes, because we want to get an energy to attach to ADP. I'm playing against my friend Chris Dots here. What up? If you're watching this video, be sure to let me know how your game went on your side on the Rare Candy TCG YouTube channel. Okay, starting with Jinx. Can we get out an ADP? I mean, I guess we can. Let's go Tag Call. Let's get out these, because we don't necessarily need those. Let's do this. Let's go Big Charm on him. Let's discard this ADP, and I think we're pretty okay, so let's just pass here. So we're going to see exactly how that goes. So maybe our opponent's playing, it looks like they're playing ADP if they put Shrine down. Okay, and then marning us this early is kind of whack, but our hand wasn't crazy. We had 4 cards in it anyways. So let's see exactly what we get here. I'm actually kind of okay with this hand. If our opponent doesn't get an energy this turn, I think we're in a really good spot. And so far, they're just getting Zacian, no energy. I haven't seen an energy so far. They probably have an energy after this quick ball. Okay. So we're already a turn ahead of them. That's completely fine with us. We just want to be able to use Altered Creation GX. And there's the Shrine of Punishment doing its thing. Okay, so we'll take a Jirachi. We're going to put Spiritomb down. We're going to put... let's just get the energy there and discard the Big Charm. I probably should have saved that Jirachi and discarded it. And then put the Big Charm on the Spiritomb. But maybe it's the game's way of saying we're going to get a Hustle Belt on there. So let's use Professor's Research. Ooh, and we got the Switch too. Amazing. I don't think our opponent plays any Faba. Tool Scrapper doesn't exist. And I don't think they play Lysander. So let's go Hustle Belt there. Let's go Ominous Posture. Move a damage counter to Spiritomb. And we're also going to go for Building Spite here. And here we go with Altered Creation GX. So we're moving the damage counters to build up Anguish Cry and doing damage counters. And we have Rainbow Energies as well. So I think we're in a really good position here to kind of breeze through this game, maybe. Our opponent's still behind a turn with Altered Creation GX. They're already putting damage counters on themselves with the Shrine of Punishment, a card that we'd like to play. In our deck as well, we already have damage building up on our ADP. They're not taking a knockout, so we can move to Spiritomb. It's very possible for us to get a knockout on an ADP as early as next turn and Marnie our opponent. So all that being said, I'm pretty happy with it. Our opponent might be able to like screw this up with Big Charm though. So we'll see exactly what they get. Did they get another energy, or are they just going for Altered Creation? Oh, I guess they have to have Altered Creation. They need to have a Metal Energy anyways. Ah, the Blind Professor's Research, and they didn't go for Custom Catcher. I mean, Custom Catcher would have been hot on a Jinx. I don't see any reason why to waste 2 Custom Catchers. I think our opponent also discarded both Custom Catchers as the last 2 cards. I would have at least tried to use the Custom Catchers anyways there. If they use Fiona, I'm just sending a Spiritomb. They've already attached for, or they won't be able to get a knockout, but now they're just going to go for the Altered Creation. I mean, I don't necessarily feel bad about this turn. Okay, there's the Altered Creation. Awesome. Cool. Let's see what Acrobike brings. I mean, there is Hustle Belt's probably better to get. Kind of unfortunate to grab there, I guess. Let's grab Hustle Belt, put it on to... I mean, there's no point of even putting it on there. Let's just discard it. Let's go Building Spite. I'm going to go switch right into the Spiritomb, and let's go Marnie. Cool. So we are going to have another Spiritomb here. We're going to go Quick Ball away Spiritomb. I should have probably used Acrobike first. We might have been able to draw into that. I'll take another Rainbow Energy because that Shrine's just going to stick there. And let's go Ominous. Moving it there. And we're drawing 4 prize cards here. And let's do Building Spite there before I forget. And let's go Anguish Cry for 250 damage for the knockout for a single energy Insano. And we are drawing 4 prize cards at that as well. I mean, all the Jirachi's prized, I guess, right? Nice part about having tag calls, we could search at the Cynthia Caitlyn to draw an additional 3 cards. And like, our opponent has 6 prize cards left, not enough energies to attack right now. So we're in a pretty solid position, if you ask me. Wonder if they're just going to get the ADP to discard the ADP. I think that's probably what they're aiming to do so. And if we look at the amount of damage that we can build on this Spiritomb, on how much damage we can do, with us not having access to Hustle Bubble anymore because we have 1 in play and 1 in our discard pile right here, we can use Anguish Cry, build it so we have 1 damage counter. We can use Building Spite, building it up to 2. This Pokemon will be at 2 at the end of the turn, so we can build it up to 3, build it up to 4 with both of our Jinx, attach a Rainbow Energy to build it up to 5. So that's 10 plus 30 times 5 is 160, plus an additional 30 from Ultimate Ray, or from Altered Creation GX. So we have plenty of opportunities to do damage. If we get a Pokemon Catcher Heads, we can knock out Fiona, Oranguru, or Dedenne GX to instantly win the game next turn. So, I mean, we're in a pretty good position. And while we're on the subject of things that we could do, I do wish this deck played 1 Guzma Hala because it does play so many special energies and Pokemon tools. that I think, and stadiums, that Guzmahala seems like it'd be a really important card in general in this deck. So if you're asking me a change that I'd make about Ross Cawthon's list, that'd be one card that I'd like to add in. See what our opponent does here. If they can't even get out of the active position, we also win the game. So they're going to take the knockout there. Cool. So knowing what our options are here, I'm just going to send up Spiritomb. I mean, there's an energy, building spites, move it there. So there's 5 damage counters. Let's just go Pokemon Catcher, Tails, Pokemon Catcher, Tails, no! Let's grab that. That really sucks getting 2. I'm going to grab a Professor's Research because I think we could win the game with that. Pokemon Catcher, Tails, 3 in a row! Let's go Quick Ball away this. I mean, there's a great catcher left in the deck, so I feel pretty good about that. How many switches does our opponent use? 2. And I'm just debating if I want to use Fiona here. I mean, yeah, let's just go for Deandre GX here. Four Tails with that? Are you serious? No. That is so sad. Anguish Cry. We could do 190. Now, the one thing to note is that our opponent cannot use Brave Blade this turn if they don't have a switch or retreat. And I also don't think that it's possible for them to knock out this ADP. Oh, they're probably just going to attack with that dude. That is a rough one for us. Wow. I mean, I kind of wish we had Fiona here again. But that's what we get for trying to win the game. I think no matter what, we win the game next turn by attaching an energy to our ADP. And then we can grab a great catcher. So I just use, I'm going to draw for my turn, which puts me at 12 cards left in my deck, attach an energy to ADP, send up Jirachi, then use Professor's Research, putting us down to 5 cards left in the deck, and then I use Jirachi to guarantee the last great catcher, the only great catcher we have in the deck. So if they retreat and get a knockout with this Zacian, they will lose the game. And one thing that I'd also like to point out, Big Charm can raise the HP of Spiritomb to 90, which means that you can have an additional 30 HP if necessary. Which means that you could have another 30 damage on you, which means that you could do an additional 90 damage with Anguish Cry. So it's not necessarily only Hustle Belt that you could put on Spiritomb, you could also put Big Charm on there, which is really helpful. I think our opponent's struggling here a little bit on deciding what they want to do. They might not necessarily have the other Metal Saucer. Which Pokemon do we want to be our active? I mean, I'm just going to send up Jirachi. That seems like a really good choice. I don't want to get like a Jinx stuck in the active position and retreat it or something like that. I don't want to send up ADP in case my opponent somehow has a way to knock out ADP. But our opponent might be stuck here without having another Metal Saucer. And you can see that we've had this game, we've had some rough discards. Our opponent's also down to 1 card left in their deck. If they play a few cards from their hand and don't draw a prize card this turn, they will lose the game. Because we can Marnie them and put them back down to deck them out. So they're at 3, 6, 7 cards. I need them to play another 3 cards and not draw a prize card. But you can see that these are all the ways that our opponent's actively going through the game. Like, they're putting themselves in a very against the wall position. I mean, at this point, I'm completely fine sending up Spiritomb. Actually, there's no Absol in play, so I'm gonna send up ADP. So I'm going to attach my energy for turn because there's no other attack that will allow me to win the game. This deck doesn't have any cool little nifty text like that. Let's go Professor's Research and try to get that Great Catcher to guarantee the win. I am going to go Quick Ball away Jinx for a Jirachi, which will allow me to win the game because I can go. Actually, let's see if we can get it off Quick Ball. I mean, that makes it a lot easier. So let's just go there, there, boom, bring this up, and we can go Ultimate Ray. So we are able to win the game. ADP is also a solid attacker. I mean, it's how it goes sometimes. Okay. I mean, let's see how this coin flip goes. And we lost the coin flip. Maybe our opponent will allow us to go first. No, they're going to go first. And Impish Fungi, if you're watching this, be sure to let us know how the game went on your side. The Rare Candy YouTube channel. With our opponent going first, they can't play a Marnie. I don't think they're going to baseless reset stamp me. So I'm just going to chill here with this hand. This is actually a very good hand for this deck. Ball picks. Maybe our opponent's playing Fire Toolbox or some kind of Baby Blondes deck. The Ninetales doesn't necessarily help us. They don't really have spread attacks, so I'm not necessarily worried about using Building Spite. Their Pokemon don't necessarily have a lot of HP, so this seems like it'd be a very difficult matchup for them. They could use Ninetales to get around things, so that might be something to worry about. But I generally think the speed of ADP and everything else that we got going on here for us is going to be really helpful. Single prize card decks tend to do well against Fire Toolbox. I piloted Fire Toolbox to a second place finish at OCIC. What? Discarding a Welder? What? So I know a thing or two about the deck, and I think it's going to be a difficult matchup if you ask me going into it. This is going to be my first match of this kind, like Spiritomb ADP against Fire Toolbox. So we'll see exactly. I'm excited to see how it goes. And they're pulling a big old me playing Heatran GX down. Let's go for Acrobike to see what we can get. I want to save. I'm actually totally okay discarding that Aurora Energy, just because I want to get out a Jinx. I think the Jinx is going to be very helpful going forward in this matchup. So there's that, there's that, there's that. Oh, this is a busted hands. Our opponent can't necessarily do too much. So let's go switch into this, and let's go like that. There's an escape board. There is an ADP Cynthia Caitlin. I mean, this is punishment at its finest. Let's use Building Spites. Let's use Ominous Posture, moving that there, building up more damage. And I do not want to use my GX attack. I'd like to draw extra prize cards this game if it's possible. So we're going to pass our turn. The only reason why I played Switch is so we didn't pitch it away with the Professor's Research. I mean, our opponent can use Welder all they want, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they're looking for. They're going to have to play the Dene down if they're going to be using 9 Temptations. And here they should totally just be using Steaming Stomp for 130 damage. That's 2 Welders gone. Yep, so at least our opponent's making the correct choice. Let's put Fiona down. There's really not too much here that I want to be using. I'm going to just go Building Spite. And our opponent's already behind the curve of the matchup. So let's just go Altered Creation GX. I guess I could have used Aurora Energy to force them to attach an extra energy. That would have probably been a better play. I was thinking about adding the damage, not factoring in the fact that they use Steaming Stomp. So that's a slight misplay on my behalf, just an order of operations thing. But I'm not necessarily worried about where my opponent's energies go. Okay, there's Altered Creation GX, and now we're a single prize card deck. That's drawing like 3 prize cards. So if my opponent has to put a Dedenne GX down, which they will at some point, unless they just completely have nothing for the rest of the game. What? 9 Temptations? Are you for real? I was not expecting that. That is wild. Okay, well, we're sending up Jirachi and seeing how it goes. Is there any way for me to... I think I have to go with the attack here. Yeah, I shouldn't have used Stellar Wish. That's a mistake. See, this is what I get for trying to play fancy. Let's just do that there, discarding Quick Ball because it gives me more options. Let's go Professor's Research now. Spiritomb, yes. I'm going to take my damage with Building Spites. Awesome. I'm going to take my damage with, or I'm going to move my damage away from Ominous Posture. Moving that away again. Let's try to take their ability to remove prize cards off from play by bringing up their Ninetales. Awesome. So let's go ahead, retreat. And I won't have any energies left in the deck because I have my only 2 basic energies in play. But there's 2 prize cards. And we're in a good spot. Because even if our opponent's able to knock out this ADP by attaching an energy, which totally seems possible, they're only going to be at 2 prize cards left, and we'll have a Spiritomb in play. Okay, so they made the correct choice. I didn't know that they had the escape word there. Well played. Thank you. Wonder what they're going to do here. I really would have loved to finish the game by knocking out that Heatran GX, but our opponent made that. I think their play was solid. It's just an awkward position for them to be in. Because their deck does not have a lot of HP. If they're playing my list from OCIC, they only play 1 Ability Zard, or 1 Rush Zard. So there's enough targets on their bench where I can win the game seemingly pretty easily. But we'll see. They probably need to just get a fire energy. I don't know why they didn't play the fire crystal to attach a fire energy. There's a Vulpix. I mean, if they knock out this ADP, I'm just going to find another Spiritomb. If they don't knock out ADP, they 100% will lose this game. Oh, they play Pokegear. Wow. They're playing a really different list. Okay, Turtonator, that's fine. Turtonator's worth 2 prize cards now anyways. There's their Welder. Who are they trying to attack with? Well, I guess attaching energies to the Turtonator seems fine. But like, I'm just gonna try to get another Pokemon Catcher head and knock out their Vulpix so that they can't do much. Or maybe I'll try to knock out something worth a little bit more. Because even Fiones can do 80 damage to a Vulpix. I can't remember, is this before or after? Before applying, okay, cool. So our opponent's down to 2 prize cards, but I'm not going to play down into Dene to give them a free prize card. So let's end up Jirachi because there's no Absol in play. I mean... let's bring up this Heatran GX. Let's go Spiritomb, taking away this energy. There's nothing that's stopping us from retreating. So let's go for... I mean, I don't really care what's in my opponent's hand. It can't be that good, right? So let's go... how many do I need to have in play? 5 is 150 plus 10, 190. So I need to have 5 energies total. I need to go Building Spite there. I need to go Building Spite here. I need to go Ominous to move damage counter from there to there. Let's go Acrobike, trying to get another thing. Let's just grab a... that. Let's go Shrine. Let's go Stellar Wish. Let's... let's grab a Hustle Belt. I've already done everything else, so let's just go Anguish Cry. There's 190 damage. And I can quickly build up that other Spiritomb by using Building Spites and attaching a Rainbow Energy and playing down another Spiritomb and moving in that damage from Ominous Posture. So I could do an additional 60 damage with Hustle Belt if necessary. I mean, if it even comes down to that, our opponent has to find a way to take a knockout, and we have Fion to get past their active. So if they can't bench another Pokemon with a significant amount of HP, like how much damage can this do? Because I'm doing 190 right now with that one. So if they don't knock out that one, I'm doing 190. And how much can I do with next turn? So 1, 2, 3 is 90 plus 10 is 100 plus an additional 30 from ADP, 130. Plus Hustle Belt. So they need to have 2 Pokemon that are worth more than 190, and our opponent has already... they can't do that right now. And I'm not trying to sound like a mathematic geek. There's a lot of things to do when it comes to placing damage counters, and I just want to make sure we do the correct math, because even if we let that Heatran GX get knocked out from Shrine of Punishment, the extra prize card from ADP only counts if we knock that Pokemon out by damage from your attack. So Shrine of Punishment is not damage from my attack, so it wouldn't count at all. I mean, our opponent's also in severe jeopardy of decking out. They can't use really Victini Prism Star. because it's in their loss zone. So it's going to be interesting to see what our opponent does here. How many? We've got 2 switch. I mean, I really don't know what our opponent can do. They've already played a supporter as well, so they can't... Like, I think they need to hope that we just don't have a rainbow energy. I mean, they do see that I have a Fion, right? No Absol in play, so let's just send up Jirachi. Let's go Rainbow Energy here. Building Spite. Move it there. Building Spite. Like, our opponent should know that I have the win here, but I guess they don't. We'll just play it out to see for a second to see what they want to do here. Anger's Cry. Fion would have got the win as well. I just wanted to see what we could have had we not had access to Fion. So, like I said, pretty easy going matchup for us, but busted that we won as well. This deck's awesome. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. We saw that Spiritomb with its Building Spite combined with Jinx, ADP, and some other damage modifiers absolutely can rip up the metagame right now. So huge shout out to Ross Cawthon on his creativity, and congratulations to him for making top 4 at the Q1 Limitless Online PTCGO event. This deck is absolutely amazing. It's a joy to play, and maybe you can get a chance to try it out too. If you like this video, or if you just like the way that Spiritomb looks, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Rare Candy YouTube channel. If you want to help support us a little bit more, you can go to patreon.com/rarecandytcg, become a patron. All of the proceeds go right back into the channel. You'd also go to rarecandytcg.com, pick up some sweet merch. As for me, hola, I'm Zach Lesage. You can follow me on Twitter at ZLesagePokemon to follow whatever I'm doing in the Pokemon world. Be sure to check it out. There's lots of stuff on there. That's what we got going on for today, but stay tuned for more great content coming out on Rare Candy. Thanks so much for watching, and have yourself a great one.